So, you think you want to make a change in your life and business? You think that things shouldn't be the way they are, and maybe it's time to do something about it? Well, that's good, but that's what we're going to talk about today because this is going to cost you on today's Daily Dance.
Welcome to the Daily Dance with your host, Brad Richardson.
Welcome to the Daily Dance, everybody. It is Tuesday, and it is March the 21st. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining again. So, looking to get into motion, looking to make changes and not just talk about things. And this is where the rubber starts to meet the road, because we can talk about a lot of great and high ideals that never amount to anything. And granted, we all need to vent sometimes. We all need to do whatever it is you do to blow off steam to keep you from blowing a gasket at times. But what our focus is, and what I try to get my focus to be, is what can I actually do to move the needle and to make a difference. And I want to convince you to do the same. But when you get to that point, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. Whenever I come on this show and I put all this out on the different platforms, and especially LinkedIn, there can be a cost to what I put up here and the opinions I give. And when I sell and try to sell everybody on my approach to business and life, I'm well aware that there are companies out there that may look at that and it may be something they don't want to touch. It can be dangerous to have people among you who really want to change things for the better and see results. And so I guess I that brought to mind that there is that cost associated with, and you will end up paying a cost. You'll end up paying a price at some point for trying to do the right thing, trying to do the best thing. And by just using myself as an example, when I put these things out there, I'm obviously open to working for another firm again, in another company again, and for the right company, for the right group of people. What I say could be something that attracts, but for others, it can be enough to scare people away. And the same will be true of you. But I want to convince you that it's worth it, that it's the right thing to do, because my assumption is that if you are watching this show, and if you are in the stream of things and watching different personalities and teachers and entrepreneurs that talk about doing business well, that you're determined to actually make a change, that you're determined to actually want to do that, because at some point you're just going to get frustrated. Otherwise, you'll get frustrated and discouraged, and that won't be a benefit to anyone. So you want to be able to plan for actually taking action. And that's what we're going to deal with today. Before we get into that, and before I forget, we do need to do our daily dance. So the daily dance is our dance we do daily. Isn't that a wild concept? To help get ourselves in a right mental attitude for the day. If you're down, if you're up, doesn't matter. You're going to look silly. That's the point. We're not going to take ourselves too seriously. We're going to take our subject matter very seriously. And to do that, we are going to get ourselves in motion and we're going to do our daily dance. So let's go ahead, take a few seconds, and everybody dance. Okay, had a little glitch there in the start, but everybody got your chance to do your dance. So now we're ready, right? We're ready to talk about today's subject. Let's dive in. Now, first of all, I want to talk about speaking truth because to a large extent, that's what we're having to do. We're speaking truth. We oftentimes the things we're wrestling with and wanting. We talk about the whole big general subject of doing business better. These aren't deep, dark secrets. These aren't hidden. This isn't hidden special knowledge anywhere. Almost all of this we're familiar with. We know. So many know. And it is easy and can be easy to look and see where things aren't being done best. Even if we don't know what the right thing is to do, we can see negative results, or we know when negative results are affecting us. So what we're doing then is learning to bring up the elephant or elephants in the room. The things that we know aren't working, and we're having to bring those things up. And that is hard because that's where you can draw attention to yourself in a way that maybe you don't want to. It's where the risk resides, is in speaking that truth. Usually there's a reason why different truths are not being spoken in an environment, right? There's a reason why you can't bring that up. There's a reason why that's a touchy subject. And not always a good reason, sometimes a good reason, many times not a good reason. We don't bring it up because it's difficult. It's hard. It's going to bring up the gap, the problem that needs to be dealt with that hasn't been dealt with, because it's going to be very, very hard, take a lot of work, and it's not going to be a quick fix. And so it's not what we want to hear, or it can be bringing up the fact that pet projects didn't work out. Pet ideologies don't get the results we had hoped. And so we can't bring it up. There are many reasons, but so speaking that truth can be a very hard thing.
Just go tell him the truth. They can't know the truth. The truth you see is bad.
So, it's something that we need to tackle first, that you have to have a commitment to speak truth. That means you have to care about the truth. You have to care about the truth. And so to not be hypocrites, we need to care about the truth in our own lives and not just on that subject as well. Otherwise, if you're playing your own games in other areas of life and business, and then you want to come in and be a truth teller in your business life, that's going to fall. Well, it may not fall flat. It may work for a time. You could have a positive impact, even depending on how you bring that truth. But eventually it's going to come back to bite you, because this is costly. This is so costly. And so you need to be able to bring it with genuine conviction. And that means you need to have a commitment to truth in your own life. And you need to be able to speak truth to yourself first. You need to be able to speak truth to yourself first. And then you're going to be in a place of being able to bring the hard subjects to light when you need to. And so that's step number one, speaking truth. Now, speaking truth, you also need to be able to present truth in a way that is going to have a positive impact. You don't want to, if you think just speaking truth, it's like, well, it was true and I said it, and yeah, they all got mad, but that's on them. Maybe. How did you say it? How did you bring it up? Did you frame the that growth opportunity, that corporate growth opportunity? Did you frame it in the best way possible so that they could hear it, so they could receive it, and so you all could action on it? Or were you just bringing it up to get it off your chest and make it so that you feel like you did your part? Because that's not what we're doing here, and that's not my point. I don't want to encourage a bunch of people to just simply stir up the waters and then not clean up anything, to just stir up the waters and leave it a muddy mess. We can't do that. In that case, better to stay silent most of the time. But we do want to be able to bring up the truth, but we want to be able to bring it up in a way that it's apparent we're concerned about a good outcome for everyone. And that should be the only reason why we're bringing it up, by the way, is that we want a better outcome. Now, that doesn't mean you can't bring up the truth, because there's something within the organization that's harming you personally. It's affecting you negatively personally. That's okay to bring up, because chances are, if it's affecting you like that, it's affecting others. But also, we need to be true about that. If that's the main reason why, if that's the main mover of why we're bringing something up, be completely transparent about that. Bring it up in a meeting, or these types of things are best done face to face. But bring it up and say, this came to my attention because this happened, and it negatively affected me or my team this way. Then I looked into it, and I realized I think this is an important issue, because I can't have it affecting me, or I can't have it affecting my team that way. Or I noticed that it's affecting the business as well. We're not alone in this. And whatever it is, frame it properly, but then say, but I believe I have a solution that should work to move us forward. Right? You reframe it. So if you're going to speak truth, don't just speak the truth and let it hang out there. Okay? Don't do that. That's more of a venting session, and it's okay to do those. I had a CEO that I would come to, and bless his heart, he was always happy as long as he knew that's what it was. And I would let him know. It's like, hey, just need to vent. He's like, cool, go ahead and bring it. I'd vent. We'd talk, and then on we'd go. That's different. You can have venting sessions, and you need to know where you can have them, who you can have them with. But that's different from speaking truth in this way, where you're looking for some kind of positive resolutions. And you're going to need to have the courage to learn to do this. But if you think these things through, work through your own angst, anger, own feelings, to get to that point where you have a concrete plan, preferably written out, of this is how we can help this situation. And so then you can genuinely bring the subjects to light in that frame of, this is how we're going to resolve this. This is how we're going to help this situation. Then you're going to do much better. And you're not going to be as nervous. Well, at least I'll speak for myself. I know I'm not. I get nervous if I'm just worked up emotionally and I'm kind of angry. And so I'm bringing things, and I'm really afraid that people aren't going to listen, and I'm going to be ostracized, or, it's going to paint me in a bad light. I feel much, much better if I've done the work, and I genuinely I've worked through my own hurt or whatever it is, and gotten to the other side of that. And now I have some ideas for, no, this is still really an issue. I do still really need to bring it up, but here's how we can handle this as a group and as a company. And here's a positive resolution for this. It makes it so much easier to do, and you'll feel the moral authority. that comes with that, the certainty, the courage that comes with that, of knowing that you've done your due diligence and you've done your homework, and now you're ready to bring these things to light. So speaking the truth. So that's step one. That's the first thing that we need to start getting in the habit of. But also, have to emphasize, don't be reactive. You really don't want to be reactive. You want to be able to take information in, process it however you have to, until you can come out with something that can point in a positive direction, at least. Now, I do get there are times, right, where there's nothing positive or not much. It's going to be hard. There may just be bad news you have to deliver. Go ahead and deliver it, but still deliver it in that same spirit, at least. That, man, I looked for ways that you can say that. I looked for ways that we could deal with that. I don't see any way around this, right? I don't see any way around it. But here's the bad news. Here's the situation. And I'm bringing it up because the sooner we know about it, the better, because now we can mitigate. Now we can move. And that kind of thing is good too. In a good, healthy situation, it will increase the trust level of your leadership with you, because you're being willing to bring up the hard and bad thing, but you're not pointing fingers. You're not coming in just a critical spirit. You're coming in a way to still help and say, I don't know what to do, but I know we need to know about this because we need to do something. Even that can help. Okay. So as you start to do that, then you're going to have to probably do it a lot longer and a lot more than you would like to, consistently. And that's where you got to learn to keep the faith. You got to keep the faith in this, that by doing this, it is better, because it's hard. And you will still, even doing your best to bring up these types of subjects, you're still going to have people that will get offended. You're going to offend. You're going to step on toes sometimes. And sometimes just because of what you have to bring up, no matter how you frame it, it's still going to offend some. And sometimes you're just going to make mistakes too. Know which is which. Try to own your own stuff. But keep going. Don't give up. Keep going. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's like trying to navigate a forest, and without all the information coming up, without the truth of where the trees are, you're going to run in to a lot of trees. You're going to run into a lot of obstacles. You're going to crash a lot, and that doesn't help anybody, right? So by bringing up the truth, by being as honest and truthful as possible, and learning how to do that well and in a constructive way, it brings visibility to an organization. It brings visibility to a leadership team. And how much more likely are you as a leadership team to succeed if you have a better map of the challenges you're trying to navigate, right? So we need that kind of visibility within our organizations, but this is how it happens. And I'm not really talking to leaders in this episode. I'm talking more to, not talking to executives per se. I'm more talking to mid-management or those that serve leadership, because you can't wait to be in an environment that invites this type of feedback. If you are a leader or an executive, do everything you can to make a safe environment that will invite this type of feedback. You will be doing yourself and your organization a huge favor. But if you are at the level where you are serving leadership, and you can't have things, information die on the way to the top. You can't have bad information get hidden. The bad news has got to travel fastest, and that takes courage. That takes a commitment to doing the right thing, even if it ends up meaning something negative for you and your career temporarily. You have to have the courage to bring the bad news and bring it as fast as you can. So keep doing that, though, even though you're going to get some scars. Keep the faith. It will produce something good in the end. This is a long-term strategy. Even if it doesn't produce something good at your present company, it's going to produce something good in you, a good habit, a good outlook, good character that will then serve you at a future stop. If it doesn't help you where you are, if maybe it even gets you fired where you are, maybe. But if you're trying to do the right thing and bring transparency and serve the best interests of the business, and that ends up getting you fired, then it's time to move on anyway. And all those characteristics will still serve you better at the next stop. And if enough of us all endeavor to do this consistently, we're going to change the working world. We're going to change the work environment in general. We don't have to wait for this to happen. We can do it, all of us together, if we have this kind of a commitment to truth telling, to transparency, to being honest, and doing all of that in a helpful way. So keep the faith. Don't lose faith when it gets hard. It will get hard. There will be challenges. Anything worth doing is going to be that way, right? We all know that. So this is where it gets real. Don't get discouraged. Keep the faith. And then number 3, remember why. Remember why this matters. This matters because nothing's going to change if we don't change it. Nothing's going to change if we don't change it. That's just a rule in life. And one of the biggest revelations I had in my life when I was younger was the moment that I realized I could just do things. I could just do things. I could call that person. I could organize this thing over here. I could ask this question here. Asking questions, by the way, is a superpower. Asking people to be able to learn, and also asking asking for just about anything, for a chance, for a shot, for a job, for an account, for whatever it is. If you can be pleasantly and politely persistent, that is a superpower. But we do all this because we can, and that we can change things for the better. And if we don't do it, things won't change. The things that can make work miserable right now in some environments are going to stay the same for you and for all the people around you. So it doesn't have to just be selfish. Think about all the other people that are working where you're working. Think about all the other people in the workplace in general. When we move things forward in the way that we conduct ourselves, it does change things. You are changing your world one way or the other by your good or bad response. And collectively, we change things. So that's why. I mean, essentially, because it's the right thing to do, right? So that's why. Yeah. So remember why. So speak truth, then keep at it, keep the faith, and then remember why we're doing it because it's the right thing, because it's good to do, because it will change things. Even on the days where it feels like it won't, I promise you it will. Long-term thinking. We're doing long-term thinking here. So those are the things to remember. But now the homework. Yeah. The homework, count the cost. Count the cost. These are things I believe in 100%. But they do cost you. I have had to do very imperfectly. I've had to try to live these things out. And I've made loads of mistakes in doing it. And it has cost me. But I've progressed so much faster in other ways that I wouldn't change it. Well, I can't say that. Yeah, if I could go back and do things, the same things, but better, of course. But I don't regret making the attempt. And I understand, and I hope you understand, anything that you're attempting to do, the odds of you doing it perfectly are pretty slim. You've got to be willing to make the mistakes as you go. But that's why it's also important that what you're striving after is worth the price, worth the cost of making those mistakes. Doing things and standing on principles that if they cost you your job, as scary as that could be, that in the test of looking yourself in the mirror in the morning, you'd be able to look at yourself in the eye and go, no, I did the right thing. Maybe I didn't execute it as well as I should have. Lessons learned for next time. But my heart, my attempt was definitely to do right by my employer, to do right by my family, to do right by myself, to do right by the people around me. Wasn't just self-motivated. And this can't be that. That's not what I'm advocating. For this to just be self-motivated, and so you feel better about yourself in some way, shape, or form. It needs to be still about serving others, still about serving the business who is paying you to do a job. But you need to be able to take risks when necessary, and do it for reasons that are significant enough that the cost makes it worth it. And for the most part, that the worst it can be is that you get fired. The worst it can be is that you lose a job. There are other jobs. And if you are endeavoring to improve yourself and to do what's right consistently, you'll land in good places. I'm convinced of that. You will land in good places. So have courage. Find others to encourage you in this. Have good discussions around these types of things with your workmates and with your team. If you are managing people, if you lead a team, then try to have these good conversations with those people, and try your best to be able to take clear and honest feedback as well. And you can't over communicate. You really can't. Make sure it's communication and not just talking. That's the subject for another episode. But, have that clear communication, make sure that people understand we want clarity here. We want to know the truth about what's going on within our team, within our business. And we're not afraid of that. We're not going to be afraid of that. Even if the discussions are hard, even if the truth comes out sloppy, when we're trying to communicate it, because there's so much that we have to learn, we're going to have grace for each other as we learn, as long as we're all trying to move in the right direction and to serve the greater good in those circumstances. Very, very important to do. So count the cost, though. Understand what this could cost you, and make sure that you're willing to pay that price before you move forward. And that's probably the last thing that I would say is that don't step out on this until you're ready to pay that price, until you're ready for that cost, for that bill to come due. Because if you're not, then don't do this. But understand that's the place that you're in then, and just sit and ruminate and try not to then complain about things that you're not willing to bring up, because that's something then that you've at least put on hold, right? You're at least saying, okay, I see that problem. I'm not willing, or maybe you feel like you're not in a place to deal with it. So you need to be able to take that and kind of put it on the shelf and go, I'm just going to have to accept that for now. But then continue to work, continue to move forward, continue to grow. And if you get at a place, hopefully, if it's something that's important, where you'll find yourself having the courage, having counted the cost, to step out and bring up the hard things, to have the hard discussions that need to be had, so that you can move forward, and so that your company can move forward, and so that you can all be successful. And that matters. It's not just about money as an abstract thing, or money as a game to earn more than so-and-so, or money for my comforts and my luxuries. These are livelihoods for you and the people that work with you. This is how everyone's paying their bills, right? Unless you're independently wealthy, this is how you're paying the bills. And so it matters. It matters to all those families and all those households. So this is something that you're working up within you, of that, oh yes, clarity. clarity and honesty and these right discussions and these good discussions and not hiding the difficult things is going to be healthy, and it's going to help all of us work together better, and we'll get further together if we do this, and we'll be more successful, and jobs will be more secure, and everybody will be able to provide better. And it matters. It matters. And look, it's always better to win than to lose. It's always more fun to win than to lose. And when you do this, you will, as a group, win more. You will maximize what you can do together for longer. It may cost you in the short term. It may cause, right? It's going to cause discomfort in the short term, but long term, you're going to have these things dealt with, and you will have developed the good habit of that type of good communication, so that when future things come up, it's going to be much easier each time. Each time. Now you've already got that habit and that pattern, and everybody has that mindset, and now you can deal with things very quickly and come to much better conclusions because you're having these honest discussions. So I hope that makes sense to everyone listening. Thanks again for joining us on the Daily Dance. Keep dancing. Try to keep your chin up and your head up no matter what you're going against, and always strive to make the good and right choices. We and invest in yourself in that. We want all the good guys to finish first. We want the good guys to win. Not just the loudest guys in business, not just the pushiest guys in business. We want the best of you to win and to make a difference where you are. So thank you for giving us the chance to encourage you in that. Please keep coming back and watching more episodes. Please tell your friends and family, send them a link. Please join us and join our community on Locals so that you can get notifications when new episodes are up. And then there may be occasional articles that I'll start to write as well. You'll be able to stay tuned in with us there, or follow accounts on any of the platforms that you've seen us. But we'd really love to see you on Locals. So thanks again for joining us. Always a privilege. It's appreciated that you take the time, and we will talk to you next time. Thanks again.